Hello everyone, I'm going to be introducing the game Fortnite to y'all for the Hall of Greats. This game is a battle royale, where you or a team are put in an island where there's an ever-expansive storm that's slowly narrowing down, compressing you and other teams within close proximity to engage with each other, until one person or a singular team is left standing. So what sets this game apart from other battle royales? Fortnite's core mechanic is centered around building. With materials like wood, brick, and steel, you can create structures that help you protect yourself against onslaughts of enemy gunfire, while also being able to elevate you into positions where you previously couldn't reach on your own. And with the majority of the terrain being destructible, with the tool in your inventory, the pickaxe, you are able to deconstruct all of it to obtain said resources. One of the reasons I believe that Fortnite should be in the Hall of Greats is that I believe it's one of the best examples of a live service game. With every 1 to 2 months, an event causing a complete switch up to the map's terrain, creating new locations and vicinities to explore, while as well adding a plethora of new weapons for you and your party to use against enemy factions. Especially with Epic Games collecting every single IP under the sun like Infinity Stones, you are bound to find something from pop culture you'll definitely recognize, which you can purchase through the item shop or unlock through the Battle Pass. And speaking of the Battle Pass, it's interesting seeing how synonymous it's become with the game itself. One of the smartest things the game did was introduce the system so early in the lifespan that it became part of its identity. Unlike many established AAA titles that added similar systems years later, often facing backlash at worst and mixed receptions at best from the fans. It makes me want to give kudos to the development team for knowing the type of identity this game wanted to have so early on. Fortnite's ambition didn't stop at just one mode. It expanded into entirely different experiences. LEGO Fortnite for survival and exploration, Fortnite Festival for music and rhythm fans, and even bringing in the game Fall Guys into the game's ecosystem. Players who don't care about shooters still have a reason to log in. Creative, competitive, social, casual, Fortnite became a hub where different types of players coexist. It's rare for one title to genuinely offer something for everyone, and even rarer for it to succeed at that scale. As most of you have seen in previous Hall of Great entries, I love games that are big with customization and identity. Players shape their identity for outfits, emotes, raps, music, and avatars pulled from all across gaming, films, comics, and pop culture. Which of course can lead into an insane mismatch of teammate designs, which often gets memed on the internet. Which I always find pretty funny and kind of cool, since it's always reminded me of the book or movie Ready Player One, where all these characters get together from different IPs and face off in a battle. It's one of those things where you just enjoy as a kid, and seeing it actualized in a game like this is just fun. Another thing I really want to highlight is how Fortnite has managed to stay welcoming even as it's grown this massive. A lot of long-running online games tend to become intimidating and over time, and especially for the new players, but Fortnite has actively tried to lower its barrier. Between zero build, creative modes, and all that different ways you can engage with the game, it doesn't ever feel like you're late to the party, and you can always jump in at almost any point and still find something that clicks with you. And for players who have been around since the early days, this game hasn't really forgotten about them either. Bringing back OG maps, classic weapons, and limited time modes lets you revisit those earlier versions of the game without locking you in the past. And it's that freedom of choice that makes it so enticing. You get to choose whether to go back to the nostalgic era of the game or see what new things they're experimenting with. I also think it's worth pointing out that Fortnite never lost sight of what it is at its core. No matter how big it gets, it's still about dropping onto an island, adapting to whatever chaos unfolds, and trying to outlast everybody else. Everything else builds around that. The crossovers, the modes, the events, it just adds more ways to enjoy the foundation rather than replacing it. And that's why I think Fortnite deserves a spot in the Hall of Greats. It didn't just succeed once and coasted on that success. It kept changing and it kept taking risks, and somehow it managed to stay relevant for almost a decade while doing it. And very little games have been able to manage that. So if you've never played the game before, or it's been years since you last tried it, it's honestly never been a better time to try out the game right now than how it is in its current state. So definitely go ahead and check it out, and who knows, you might be able to snag a victory while you're at it. Thank you for watching.